Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to White Sands Self-Care, where we are all about creating education, resources, and connection with other health professionals and financial, all other kinds of professionals to help you in your self-care journey. I am your host, Laura Cross, and I am so happy to have with me today Michelle Duncan. She is the founder of CBD Body Blends. It's a family-owned, THC-free CBD company that's located in Fountain, Colorado. Michelle's greatest passion in her love of animals, and then her husband, Bill, of nearly 26 years. She's at the D&D Ranch, a farm with more than 50 animals, all pets, mostly rescues, everything from regular size horses, miniature horses. She's got pigs, goats, chickens, barn cats, dogs, you name it. To me, that's just a person with a heart of gold that can do all of that. Michelle finds her bliss in caring for her family at the Serene sanctuary she and Bill have created at the Duncan farm in Hanover, Colorado. Michelle has previously worked as a real estate assistant for more than 14 years and has been an entrepreneur most of her life. She's created a graphic design company, a candle company, bath and body company, and her current most passionate company for the last 5 years has been CBD Body Blends. And Michelle is on a mission to help people and pets live happier and healthier lives. Now, before we go into what is so unique about your CBD company, maybe you can share with everybody what drove you to change over to the CBD industry and leave all the other ones and start that up.
Well, what took place is basically with my candle bath and body company, a marijuana dispensary had reached out to me and asked me if I could make their pain relief products. And that was a medical marijuana dispensary. And so I started making their products and sort of realized this is not really the industry that I want to be in, just because of the smell, and it's like my clothes reeked all the time. I had to wear bags on put my purse in a bag and bags on my shoes and hair, and I mean, just everything. And so, but what I did notice is what it was doing for people. And so I took that to heart and said, how can we do this without THC? See what the benefits would be. And so I just started doing a lot of research. That particular dispensary moved to Trinidad, and I did not really want to travel to Trinidad on a regular basis. But I started doing my research and noticed that a lot of people wanted THC free. I did a survey to about 62, 68 people and asked, if you had an option, would you go THC or THC free? And 100% came back that wanted THC free. So I just started doing my research, and 8 months later, I created CBD Body Blends.
Nice. And for those that are not familiar, I know it's been around for a while, but in some places it's not even there. Maybe you can explain to somebody exactly what that means to be THC free and what the THC stands for.
So THC is basically the psychoactive compound in marijuana. When you're THC free in Colorado, the legal limit of THC that is allowed is 0.03%. The product that I use is an isolate. There's like a full spectrum that has the THC in the product. There's a broad spectrum, and then there's isolate. And isolate doesn't have any THC. And so I chose the THC free route just because I didn't want to have anybody impaired. So if you take a gummy, if you take a tincture, anything that you're putting inside your body with that THC, you could be impaired. It's not a very large amount, but you still could react to it. And so I just chose the THC free route, just so based on the people that I spoke to didn't want THC, And so that's the route that I chose, was THC free.
Yeah, and it's understandable because a lot of people want the pain relief, but whether it's lack of education or whatever you want to call it, a lot of them are afraid of even trying it in case it has that whole buzzed feeling or it makes them, not function well or not function right. Because most people just want to be out of pain, but they still want to be able to function and be able to be clear in their thoughts. So
Right. And there's also, it depends on the company that you work for. If you're a truck driver, it just depends on the career path that you're on. You could have a urinalysis test. And if you pop pot and THC, you could easily lose your job.
yeah,
So,
military is a big one for
mhm.
that. Yep.
And military doesn't allow any of their active duty people to use CBD regardless if it's THC free or not.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of times they draw a lot of fine lines, and it's kind of tough because sometimes those are some of your people that could use it the most, depending on their career field and what they put their bodies through and everything else. But
I agree. It is a lot of people take CBD for anxiety purposes, PTSD. It is helping a lot of veterans. I really wish the military would reconsider, and I hope that that is something that they reconsider in the future, to be able to help men and women that are serving our country. It is, when you don't have the THC, it is still effective. And to calm your body and your mind is so important. So I really hope in the near future that they reevaluate and maybe take that in consideration,
yeah,
that their
definitely.
military, soldiers could take something. So
I
as
think a
long as
lot of
it is
times that
THC
stuff gets
free.
made, just like I said, because it's lack of education and not knowing.
Mhm.
It's just, because you don't get normally told that part, if the media or whatever, you just hear about certain things and they're like, Psh, nope, got to protect them. And it's a hard no, rather than, well, maybe we should find out something else about it.
Right, taking the time to educate and get that knowledge and understanding. There are so many benefits. It is pretty incredible.
Yeah, maybe you can share with us some of the effects and stuff you've seen. I mean, with people.
So when I first began my company, I'll give just a little bit of an insight. When I first began my company, um, I wanted to do well. I definitely didn't want to just be another CBD company. I wanted to create products because I'm the manufacturer, I'm the creator, I'm the developer. I wanted to create products for purpose that actually worked for somebody's health and wellness ailment that they were trying to get relief from. A lot of people suffer from pain and migraine, stress, anxiety, sleep. I mean, there are so many different avenues, that I can take, and I have a list of product in the future. But I just wanted to not be another CBD company. I wanted to bring value and truly help people. And so when I first began this, I looked for space, to set up a retail store. And I found a space in Pueblo. My husband's originally from Pueblo and his family's there. So we explored Pueblo. And I originally was going to be open one day a week, which was going to be on a Saturday. And during the week, I was going to get out there and get wholesale accounts and make product for wholesale companies. Well, Pueblo embraced us with open arms. And eventually, in a very short time, it was open 6 days a week in our retail store. So wholesale sort of got on the back burner. But one of our first customers that came in, and it tears me up to this day, and when I talk to her, she tears up as well. She is a mom. Her daughter suffered from epilepsy and was having 4 to 6 grand mal seizures a day. She was 18 years old, at the time. She couldn't go to a public school. She couldn't work. She couldn't drive. The medication that she was on was not working. And so her mom decided to come into a CBD store and get some information and see if this could be the route that she could take because she was at her wit's end. Her daughter started taking CBD, and I think it was probably maybe 2 months later. Her mom came back in, and she's still a customer of mine today, and that's almost 5 years later. And her mom came in and got some more CBD, and she said, "This is helping my daughter. This is incredible. And thank you for being here." And she always hugged me. And she said, "You saved my daughter's life." I said, "Well, I only had a small part because I was present and I had a store, but CBD is actually helping her." And so almost a year later, she came in and she said, "I have to tell you, my daughter cannot remember the last time she's had a seizure." And that, like, I'm getting chills already. That was, I mean, validation. And it was like, I'm doing something for purpose and it's mattering. And I've had people come in that are on canes and walkers, no longer on canes and walkers, being able to walk around the block, being able to walk a mile. I mean, it's transforming lives.
Yeah, and that is phenomenal. Matter of fact, that you mentioned that, there's a gentleman that we met in a different venture that we were doing, and his son had suffered from seizures and stuff, and CBD made a huge difference. He left that business and went into his own, CBD business too, because that was a very powerful motivator, for him to do that. But that is, you hit the nail on the head there, because that's what makes you unique, is the fact that you are personally manufacturing these, and you make them to fit that person. Because so many companies just put this up and it works, and it may work great for one person, but it may not work for another person. So I think that's what definitely gives you a very unique proposition with your business, is because you can listen to the person and find out what they need, and you could make the tweaks to the product and then where it can work and function for them as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because I do a lot of custom orders, for certain people. I mean, if they want more CBD in their products, they're going to get more CBD in their products. The biggest thing that I heard when I first started this was, "Oh my goodness, CBD tastes terrible." And it does. It's an earth. It's part of the earth, and it tastes like dirt, and it tastes like a tree bark. And I get that. And so what I tried to do is make everything, um, the tinctures that I make, taste wonderful. So you want to take them. And I accomplished that. And so many people would come into our shop and say, "Oh my gosh, I don't really like taking a tincture at all." And I said, "Well, you have to try it." So we had a testing station with little spoons, and so you could taste it right there. And it was pretty amazing because it's like, "Oh my goodness, this is delicious." And I said, "I know, I created it that way." It's supposed to, like, it want you to take something that's really, really good for you and not even hesitate, because when it doesn't taste very good, you don't want to take it. And it's kind of a miserable thing, to put something in your mouth and then go, "Oh, I got to get this down." That's not enjoyable. And it's a product that can help you in so many ways. And so I made product that is very tasty. And I also I make my creams and massage oil and everything that's not invasive. So you're not, you know, smelling like a hemp plant. It's very pleasant and something that you wouldn't even think about not wearing every single day, putting on every single day. You are okay going out the door and not smelling like a hemp plant.
Right. Or not smelling like, you just smoked a bowl or whatever.
Right.
Just don't. The one thing I couldn't
Right.
stand, I have my convertible. I love my wind therapy, but to smell the dispensaries or to smell them, I'm like, oh, I never could stand the smell of it. But that is a big part of it, because most people, when you ask them or you say, well, hey, this is good for you, then they're like, because it either has no taste or it tastes terrible, because nothing that's good for you could possibly taste good.
Right.
So,
So I was on a mission to make sure, and I actually carry 14 different flavors, which is a little over the top, but sometimes the flavors are like, oh gosh, this is really good. Mint chocolate. Everybody loves mint chocolate, maybe. Or something like that. So, but I have all kinds from bubble gum, birthday cake, cinnamon, peppermint, all kinds of different flavors. And it's just, it's fun. Like you're dealing with, people are dealing with anxiety, PTSD, pain. It hurts our souls and makes us cranky. And so why not take some birthday cake, tincture and feel better just because you just had birthday cake? Like how fun is that? So I
yeah, and
wanted
it's not going to put 5 to 10 pounds on you either.
right. That's what I always say. I always say, here's a birthday treat and there's no calories involved. So yeah. I make my product for purpose and I want it to be enjoyable and delightful for somebody. So they don't even think twice about either taking it or putting it on
Mhm.
and get that comfort that they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned wholesale and massage oils and stuff. So I'm assuming with your website and stuff, you take care of not only individuals then. So do you also work with like massage therapists, what kind of people are you looking for that you can, help them with this product?
So I do work with several different massage therapists. I work with chiropractors. Um, it's basically, and just the retail consumer. So anybody, can purchase. But for wholesale, it's honestly, I mean, I just delivered product to a little boutique in Pueblo that wants to offer CBD to her customers because she's sort of in a little tourist type area.
Mhm.
And, for specific individuals would be, anybody in the health and wellness industry, massage therapists, chiropractors, even physical therapists or I mean, there's just such a huge amount of people that could benefit from using CBD, having CBD in their shop
Right.
and, offering it to their clients. Um, so it is a large number of companies or c business people, um, that could use it. So I don't really have a specific company to kinda target, it's a whole lot of them.
Right. Right. So do you stay locally or do you ship them out? Will you ship them out of state, or work with massage therapists or whatever anywhere? Or are you staying more locally?
So, I will ship out of state. Right now, I do not do international. So it is, US based, but I will ship out of state. So, I just had a company contact me from Florida, and she's a massage therapist. So, hopefully I can get her some product and she can introduce it to her clients. So, but yeah, so I go out of state. And then also for the consumer, I think it's 46 states, different people from 46 states that have purchased from us.
Nice, nice. Okay. Well, I think that's absolutely wonderful. And you're working from home now, right? If I remember right, we had a conversation before, so don't have the retail anymore, or?
So I don't have the retail space. I made that change. I was traveling an hour every day, working pretty much almost 10 to 6 every single day. Really not 10 to 6, but that's when my store was open. So it was a lot earlier hours and later hours for the past 4 years. And this year I decided that I just didn't want to do retail anymore. I really wanted to concentrate on wholesale and online and still be accessible to my customers. But I needed to do for me. Working those hours, driving that length of time, all kinds of different reasons. I needed to, I don't want to say get my life back, um, but have a little bit of quality life, because all I did was work, 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 and it took its toll.
Yep.
So I made that change this year.
And if you know
So
me,
I,
that's what I talk about with people is it's self-care. It's not selfish. You can't keep pouring yourself out to other people's unless you do that to take care of yourself. So, I'm glad you made that decision because you can still follow your dream, fulfill your customers and be at home with your husband and your farm full of animals and stuff. I think that would be a neat sanctuary to have all that myself, but
it is, and I still work a lot of hours, but it's kind of like I don't have to open up my store. I don't have to,
Mhm.
it's like from 10 to 6, I was not able to do anything else, but work. And but now I'm able to go to a networking meeting. I'm able to have a Zoom call. I'm able, just all kinds of different things. And so it is a little bit of freedom, even though I still am working really long hours, and I'm okay with that because I just like to work anyway. But
Yeah,
it's different in a
it
good
is.
way.
Yeah, and instead of that commute, now you can use that commute time for your own self-care, whether it's meditation, walking, reading, whatever. Just find your zone before you get into your day or exercise, whatever it is. Just use the commute time for that because you don't get to have to commute anymore.
Right. It's
That's a
lovely.
wonderful, wonderful option.
Yes, it's lovely.
So what is the best way for people to get a hold of you? Is it the website, the cbdbodyblends.com or?
That is where they can go online, they can see the products that I do carry, um, or they can email me at Michelle at cbdbodyblends.com. Or they can kind of my phone, they'd have to text me because I get so many calls
Sure.
that they would have to text me. So probably going to the website, and you can also send a message through there, and or my email.
Okay. And then that way, if they have any questions, because I'm sure you're happy to answer them for them before so they can make their informed decision and work with them as well. And that's nice to be able to have
Absolutely.
someone to do that.
I would rather talk to somebody personally and, see what they're going through, what their ailment is, what they're trying to get relief from, you know, get a little bit of information prior to them purchasing something if they're not sure. So it's a very comfortable conversation. It's basically if they tell me a little bit of what they're doing, then I can suggest, and then they can make a more knowledgeable decision on what they want to do.
Absolutely. So, well, I want to thank you, Michelle, for taking the time to share that. Like I said, she has a very unique thing. There's not very many CBD companies that I know of that someone will take that time and work with you and have a product that fits you. It's THC free and it's all natural. So I highly recommend anyone that is interested or suffers from that PTSD, the pain, the anxiety, check out her website at cbdbodyblends.com. And as she said, if you have questions, reach out to her. And that is Michelle at cbdbodyblends.com. We'll also put it in the comments so that everyone will have the information and be able to contact you. But I want to thank you for spending that time with us and giving us some education of what you can do to help people.
Thank you so much for having me, Laura. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So I want to let everybody know next week we will have Jeff Pearson from Hydro with Hope here, and that is a very interesting topic. So join us next Friday. Anyone here in Missouri, this Friday is our first monthly meeting of White Sands Self-Care Meetup at the Monroe Coffee House in Fair Grove. So please come out and support Monroe Coffee House. They are staying open extended hours for us. Get to know some more people in the area and how we can help you on your self-care journey. And always remember that self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for a healthier you. And thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.